This is readalinedooalinecooking.com. My name is Mike Pierce. Welcome to my kitchen and welcome to my home. Today, we are going to make California Pizza Kitchen's original barbecue chicken pizza from the cookbook, Top Secret Restaurant Recipes by Todd Wilbur. And the first thing we need to do is make our dough, and the first thing we need to do to make the dough is to proof our yeast, which is basically taking yeast, warm water, and sugar and putting them together and waiting for the yeast to foam, which should take about 5 minutes. So the first thing is some water. Some warm water. If the water is too hot, you will kill your yeast. This is 1/3 of a cup of warm water. And then it wants 3/4 of a teaspoon of yeast. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then 1 teaspoon of sugar. All right, well, while our yeast is proofing, we need to add 1 cup of bread flour. And it says 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's probably 1/2 teaspoon. All right, so now we are just going to wait for our yeast to proof, and so far not a lot's going on, but we just started. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes as soon as my yeast is doing something. Be right back. Well, we're back. Our yeast has proofed. So the next thing it tells us to do is to sift together the salt and the flour, which are both in here. So we'll just turn this on for a minute. It should sift it all together. Then we'll add our yeast mixture, water, yeast, and sugar, and 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. It looks awfully dry. Looks like it needs more water. So we're going to add more water, but not a lot. I think we're there. Maybe just a dribble more. Okay. Now, just need to get that off of, get the dough off my beater, because we're going to switch beaters. Got to put on the kneading hook. It says to knead for 10 minutes. I'm not sure there's a point of you watching this machine operate for 10 minutes. So we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. Here's our dough. Problem is, it's such a small amount of dough that my machine is not kneading it very well. So we're going to have to do it manually, which is fine. I just didn't want to, because I've done it before and it's a fair amount of work. So when we're kneading, there's a push, turn, fold, push, turn, fold motion that they talk about. Probably doing it wrong, but that is what you're trying to do. So it's push, fold, turn. Push, fold, turn. Okay. Well, we're about halfway there. This is a lot of work. That's why I wanted to use the machine. Alrighty. Well, the next step is to form it into a ball, which I already did, and lightly oil it and lightly oil the bowl. We'll do both kind of at the same time. Last thing for this step is to cover this in plastic wrap. Okay. We're going to let this sit for 2 hours. Should double in size. Then we'll punch it down and we'll move on. We'll be back in a couple hours. Welcome back. Our dough is basically ready. But we got some prep work to do. We need to cut up some onion. We need to shred some smoked Gouda. Now in the recipe, it has you marinate some chicken in barbecue sauce for 4 hours and then use some olive oil and saute it over there. I already had some chicken that was all sauteed, so I just added some barbecue sauce, shook it up. It should be fine. If you're doing it at home, I'll post the recipe, and that's the way you typically do it. So let's get back to it, and one on me, one on the down angle, and we'll do the onion. Perfect. Now the big question is, at least on my mind, does smoked Gouda shred? It feels pretty firm, probably will. Okay, here we go. Yep, we're in good shape. Half cup of grated Gouda, smoked Gouda. Yeah, close enough. Punch the dough down, form it into a ball. Olive oil everywhere. Okay, so it's a ball again, and then we're going to turn it into a pizza. From what I've read in one of my other cookbooks, if you use a rolling pin, it squeezes out a lot of the air, so you're better off with your fingers. Although I'm doing a terrible job at getting this thing to look like a pizza. They also said if it seems real stiff and doesn't want to cooperate, you should just let it sit a little, which is probably good advice. Well, it's not going to be round. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be a rectangle with apparently a few holes in it. At least with a rolling pin, you don't end up with these really weak spots. I'm using it just like that. 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. So, I'm using the wrong barbecue sauce, by the way. I couldn't find it today. It's dumb, the stuff I can't find sometimes. 1/4 cup barbecue sauce. It occurs to me this might be a good idea to not get this all over the place. Oh yeah, this is much better. And I think I want a little more barbecue sauce because it's not covering quite as well as I want. Good enough. Next thing, and it doesn't say so, but I'm going to use this to put a little olive oil around the outside, because otherwise my pizzas tend to burn a little before they're really done. These little brushes are really handy. You don't use them a ton, but when you use them, you're very happy that you have them. Unfortunately, I only have 2. You've just seen both of them. All right, the next thing is a 1/2 cup of mozzarella. We have pizza blend, which contains mozzarella, so whatever. Okay. Should probably preheat our oven. So it wants it at 500 degrees, which is pretty hot. We put on the chicken. I've tried to break my chicken up so it's pretty small. I was worried I wouldn't have enough. Next, the red onion. I think that's enough. I was supposed to put my Gouda cheese on a minute ago. Oh well. I'll put it on now, I guess. It's a little screwed up. It's supposed to be underneath the chicken. So it went mozzarella, then the Gouda, then the chicken. Screwed that up. Sorry about that. No good way to go back now. Now the remaining 1/2 cup. Okay. Works pretty good. It says the cilantro goes on top of the mozzarella, which is probably true. The problem is this is the cilantro I have, and I'm thinking it's better just to not put it on. If you have fresh, you put it on. So, all right, so now we are done. Our misshapen pizza with the Gouda in the wrong layer is basically ready for the oven it's going to be 5-6 minutes till my oven is ready. So I'll be back in 5-6 minutes. Be right back. Welcome back. Turns out my oven takes a while to hit 500 and gave me time to do all the dishes. So, time to put our misshapen pizza in the oven. Here it is. Says to bake for 10 to 12 minutes. This is kind of one of those things you give it about 5 or 6 and start looking because you just don't want to burn it. So, when it's time to take it out, we'll be back. Be right back. Welcome back. I think we're really close. Let's take this thing out and take a look. Yeah, that's got to be done. We're gonna off. Whew. 500's a bit much for my crappy oven mitts. Well, there it is. Now, I'll lift the whole thing. Check that out. That is not bad at all. I mean, I don't know how it tastes, but you know, it's a good start. All right, let's give it a cut. This thing really is hot. Probably not the best presentation, but you know, not too bad. So, as always, let's try it, although this is hotter than heck. Here goes an oven. Yeah, it's a barbecue chicken pizza. It's pretty good. It's got a good crust. It's like crunchy but not hard. I don't know. Well, there you go. I'd call this a success. If you're doing it at home, I'll post the recipe on my website. The only thing we didn't do was actually saute the chicken. I already had some. There's no point in sauteing more. And the only thing I did wrong was slightly that order. I forgot to put on the Gouda when I was supposed to. So the Gouda was after the chicken and onions when it was supposed to be before. I don't know that it matters, but it turned out really good. So far, this is the second thing I've done from this cookbook, and it's turned out pretty good. So, as always, if you like the video, please like the video. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. Every now and then, go up to readaline-doaline-cooking.com, take a look around, the recipe page, the about page, whatever. Till next time, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.